we're here today at the Houses of Parliament, and I'm with Peter Boggis from Eastern Bavants. Peter, thank you very much for speaking to us today.
It's a pleasure.
You've had a long-running and at times very high-profile legal case regarding your bit of coastline, going right up to the Supreme Court. And the case has developed over time as it's been tested in the courts. We're going to discuss those legal issues in a second, but first our viewers may not be familiar with the background. Can you first describe to us where you live?
I live at Eastern Bavants in Suffolk, which is just north of Southwold. Eastern Bavants was, for many thousands of years, the most easterly point on the British coast. Today it's reduced to a 2-kilometre strip, which is zero width one end and 200 metres wide the other end, and that is all that is left.
So how long have you lived at Eastern Bavants, and if you don't mind me asking, how old are you, Peter?
Well, we'll start with the critical one first. Right. I'm 80 this year. My family has owned the land at Eastern Bavants since 1924. Prior to that, they had tenanted the land for 20 years. After 1924, my family built its various homes on Eastern Bavants, which is what we enjoy for as long as we can at the moment.
And it's an eroding piece of coastline, as you've alluded to. But for people who just aren't familiar with that bit of coast and the problems you've experienced, tell us something about the erosion, how it's affecting you, and what you're trying to do to prevent that erosion.
Well, in my lifetime, at the north end of the property, I've seen over 300 metres of land eroded to the sea, and at the south end of the property 100 metres. It's a pretty scary situation, and with that some 13 houses have now been destroyed by the sea, which leaves us with a very small community left, which is about 11 houses.
And what have you been trying to do to defend yourselves, which I think will lead us into the legal case?
Well, in 1993, I informed the local council, then having failed to protect the area, that when I could, which is when I retired, I would protect the area. And we left it at that. I warned them on several further occasions, and then from the year 2000 onwards, I put in pilot schemes, and in 2002 I started a major scheme to protect the place, placing some 250,000 tonnes of clay soils, etc., in front of the cliffs to absorb the wave energy and supply sediment without our lands being destroyed.
That must have cost quite a bit of money. Have you funded this all yourself?
Put it this way, with good management, I've been extremely lucky.
The interview with Peter continues in film 2, which is on our YouTube channel. You can access it from our website mpsg.org.uk.